Hello everyone, and welcome back to the history of the Jebus dynasty, where last time we saw King Muz the Good massively expand his realm and found a new kingdom of Tyrrhenia, now a major power in the Mediterranean. However, at the same time, like his grandfather before him, a riding accident had left Muz incapable and bedridden. So now at 49, the paralysed king could do little but see out the end of his reign. And so today we will watch the final days of King Muz and the dawn of a new age as his kingdom passed to one of his 3 sons. Unable to lead wars from his bed, Muz turned to other aspects to spend money, founding a university at the city of Messina, as well as upgrading the jousting grounds at Palermo. Muz's youngest son, Skyline, was betrothed to the Duchess of Cyrenica, and then granted the Principality of Majorca. Interesting opportunity then presented Muz as the Pope began calls for a new holy war, this time Jerusalem. Although Muz couldn't travel himself, he promised his warriors to be ready for the fight. This time House Jebus had expanded. There was a worthy benefactor who could be placed on the throne of Jerusalem should it be taken. Muz's nephew, Dr. Jebus, was selected. Muz's son Mace was betrothed to Amis de Beauchamp, who had been noted for amazing strength, something that Muz hoped might lead to future children living longer. 28th of September 1205, the Crusade for Jerusalem was called. Muz's troops were raised and the expedition set off. During this time, Mace came of age, had to be a gifted fortune builder. He was lustful, generous and gregarious, becoming a minor knight among his father's army. Muz's forces came ashore at Alexandria, province he controlled, allowing his 11,000 men to organise before pushing on. As Muz's forces besieged in the Nile Delta, the majority of the crusading force came ashore outside Jerusalem, where they were faced with nearly 40,000 enemies. What had become known as the Battle of Ascalon proved to be a disaster, crusading forces splintering. While the fighting continued, Muz's own health continued to decline. It was at this point that the Jebus dynasty began to be known as a house of warriors, effective combatants wherever they were deployed. Muz's own forces were engaged and destroyed in the slaughter near Tripoli. During this disastrous crusade, Muz finally passed, dying of a seizure in 1207. Still had been known as exalted among men and a paragon of virtue, having fought in 8 wars. Kingdoms of Tyrrhenia, Tyrennica, and Sardinia-Corsica all passed to King Mace, while his younger brother Vela was given the Kingdom of Aragon. Young Mace would focus his initial efforts on gaining wealth for the land, believing that with enough money he could buy his way into any form of power. He also quickly set about ending the entrenched regency of his mother assuming full control. But before Mace could rally what's left of his army to pursue the Crusade, the Holy Roman Emperor declared war, wanting to claim the Duchy of Augsburg. The Crusade, however, ended in humiliation for the Catholic forces. The utter defeat at the hands of Sultan Majid ended all hopes of eastward expansion. Same time, Mace was called in to war by his brother for the Kingdom of Aragon. To pile on the misery, during this two-fronted war, Mace's vassals demanded that the king further lower the royal authority. A slight ray of hope reached the Jebus dynasty as a son, Mercer, was born. Unable to fight a war on two fronts, Mace was unable to help his brother, and so Prince Vela was forced out of the seat of the Kingdom of Aragon. With the construction of the university at Messina, King Mace was known as the Scholar. Needing time to strengthen his forces, Mace offered the new Holy Roman Emperor a white peace. The white peace was accepted, and Mace could once again focus on defending his realm. Mace then set about modernising his men-at-arms, replacing the ageing onagers with the new trebuchets, equally replacing his old pikemen with the new piqueteriae. Second child was born, and Mace's wife requested that the daughter be named Amis after herself, and Mace obliged. Seeking revenge for his brother's loss, Mace then turned on the new King of Aragon, declaring war. The city of Barcelona fell in 1212. Mace's forces then pushed inland, taking Urgell and laying siege to Cardena. It was then that disaster truly struck. A massive independence war was initiated, Mace's kingdom fragmenting. Needing to push the Iberian campaign to a head quickly, Mace attacked the enemy at the Battle of Urgell, winning a victory. And then a holy war was declared for the Duchy of Tunis. Truly, Mace's hold on power was fragmenting. However, he was able to claim victory on the Iberian Peninsula, reclaiming the throne of Aragon. However, even returning home, Mace's forces were defeated at the Battle of Apula. Massive enemy armies, too much for Mace's own troops to fight back. As pressure piled on, another war was declared, the Iberian Reclamation of Barcelona. Second battle at Corsenga destroyed what remained of Mace's forces, and the civil war was lost. The Jebus Empire had been stripped down to a small fraction of what it once was. During the fighting in 1216, a daughter Milo was born, and a third daughter Tsunda was born 2 years later. Major victory in the Holy War defending Tunis came at the Battle of Bugraha. 2,000 of the enemy were destroyed. With the capture of the Sultan's son, this was enough to put an end to the war. Finally turning his attention back to Aragon, Mace deployed his troops, won a decisive battle at Sardana, killing 1,800 for the loss of only 98 men. It's during all of this fighting that the Jebus name began to be known far and wide, becoming a significant house in Europe. After besieging Sheikh's castle outside Aragon, Mace was able to bring the Iberian reclamation to a close. Whilst the war was over, however, Mace's kingdom was thoroughly reduced, having lost the duchies of Calabria, Apulia, as well as Citra, Cyrenica and Bishoy. However, an opportunity quickly presented itself when the Prince of Calabria's brother requested Mace's aid and promised to swear fealty if he could give him the duchy. Mace jumped at the chance. Yet another daughter, Candy, was born in 1221. Mace now had 4 daughters and 1 son. And Mace's invasion of Calabria was a short war of only 13 months, which brought Calabria back under Sicily's control. Mace's reconquest continued by declaring war on the new Duchess of Citra in order to put another claimant on that throne and bring it back into the realm. Second son Army was born in 1222, his child known to be strong from birth. However, he was wheezing as a child. The invasion of Citra was completed within 14 months, bringing it back into Jebus's control. In order to deal with his growing stress, Mace then set out on a pilgrimage to the Vatican in 1223. Prince Muz of Cyrenica was then brought back into the kingdom voluntarily. Princess Amis was married off to the son of the Byzantine emperor in order to secure an alliance. And in 1224, Mace's eldest son Mirka came of age. He was a charismatic negotiator, calm, temperate and diligent. Same year, Mace had his rival Princess Margot of Aragon murdered, and Milo was betrothed to the Prince of the Crusader Kingdom. Meanwhile, Mace's third daughter, Tsunda, was betrothed to the King of Castile. This new web of alliances in place, the Sicilians were stronger than ever before, and Mace declared war on Apulia. At the same time, Mace himself was called into war by Castile. Both wars ended quickly with victory. Most of the lost territory had been retaken. Furthering the good news, Army survived to his 3rd year and recovered from his weakness. Yet another daughter was born in 1226, this one named Joanna at her mother's request. It's here in 1226 that Mace was known for being avaricious, always wanting to gain more gold for the realm. And so it's there that we leave our story for this week. Count Mace had secured the vast majority of lands that he previously lost. He had greatly cemented his control of the realm. Next time we will look at the second half of his life as he tries to expand his kingdom, using his new alliances to push at ever greater foes. But for that we will have to wait until next time. Thank you for watching, and farewell.